Welcome to the Build Your Private Practice podcast, a space for Canadian therapists who want to support others, make an impact, and build a sustainable practice that works for them too. I'm your host, Leanne Wood, a registered psychotherapist, group practice owner, and business mentor, and I'm here to help you build a private practice that allows you to keep doing the work you love without burning out. Because the people who need your help the most are counting on you, and you deserve a practice that supports you while you support them. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Build Your Private Practice podcast, a space for Canadian therapists who want to support others, make an impact, and build a sustainable practice that works for them too. I'm your host, Leanne Wood, registered psychotherapist, group practice owner, and business mentor. And I'm here to help you build a private practice that allows you to keep doing the work you love without burning out. Because the people who need your help the most are counting on you, and you deserve a practice that supports you while you support them. Now, today, I want to talk about something that might sound like policy, but is actually deeply personal to our work as therapists. We are facing a mental health care crisis across Canada. And the current system leaves too many people waiting far too long for support, often with devastating consequences. This is not an abstract issue. This is about real people, families, and the lives that could be changed or even saved if we had a system that actually worked. So in today's episode, I want to look at one piece of this puzzle that could create meaningful change: the federal government's proposed One Canadian Economy Act and what it could mean for mental health care access across Canada. The One Canadian Economy Act includes measures to improve labor mobility, meaning it would make it easier for licensed professionals to work across provinces and territories without having to completely reapply for licensing or retrain every time they move. Now, that might sound bureaucratic, but it's actually huge because right now, when it comes to mental health care, we don't have a truly national system. We have a patchwork, and that patchwork keeps a lot of qualified practitioners from helping the people who need them the most. Imagine this: a psychologist with a master's degree can practice in Alberta, but that same professional would be ineligible to work as a psychologist in Ontario, where a PhD is required. That's not about quality of care. That is about mismatched regulations. And these mismatches create barriers, especially in rural or underserved communities where access to therapy is already limited. When regulation doesn't reflect reality, clients are the ones who lose access. Right now in Canada, the Controlled Active Psychotherapy, meaning the formal regulation of who can and can't provide therapy, exists in only 5 provinces: Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island. The other 5 provinces and all 3 territories do not regulate the controlled active psychotherapy currently. And what that means is that the same therapist with the same education, the same ethics, and the same supervision could be regulated in one province and completely unrecognized in another. It's a system that makes no sense in a country where clients are increasingly seeking care online, across borders, and through telehealth. And for the therapists I work with across Canada, this inconsistency isn't just frustrating, it's also disheartening because the desire to help doesn't stop at a provincial border. Here's the truth that not enough people are saying out loud: professional politics are getting in the way of client care. We've seen it with the CPBAO consultation process in Ontario, where proposed changes around who can use certain titles have sparked heated debates between psychologists and psychotherapists. Now, discussion is good and debate is good, but when those debates turn into turf wars, clients are the ones who get lost in the middle. The vast majority of clinicians that I talk to, regardless of title, want the same thing: to provide ethical, high quality, evidence based care to people who need it.
So, what if instead of defending professional territory, we focused on aligning systems so that more people can get help faster? What if we stopped letting regulation be a roadblock and instead made it a bridge? The One Canadian Economy Act could be a once in a generation opportunity to modernize how mental health professionals are licensed and recognized across the country. If our provincial and territorial regulators can align with that momentum and not resist it, we could drastically improve access to care. We could finally allow qualified clinicians to serve clients where they're needed most, whether that's online across borders or in rural and remote areas that have been underserved for decades. And we could do all of that without lowering the bar for professional standards of care because quality and accessibility can coexist. This is about removing unnecessary duplication, not about removing practice standards. It's about designing a system that works for both clients and clinicians, a system rooted in ethics, practicality, and compassion. At the heart of this conversation is a fundamental question. How many lives could be changed or even saved if we stopped letting red tape stand in the way of care? We can have all the clinical experience in the world, but if people can't reach a qualified professional when they need one, that excellence doesn't matter. This isn't about convenience, it's about survival. When we focus on professional protectionism instead of client centered reform, we're missing the point of why any of us got into this field because every therapist I know, including you listening right now, got into this work to help people heal, to make a difference, and to hold space for the moments when it matters most. And we can't do that effectively in a system that keeps us divided. So, what can we as mental health professionals do right now? First, we need to stay informed. Follow the updates on the One Canadian Economy Act. Read what's being proposed. Understand how it intersects with your regulatory body. Secondly, use your voice. Regulatory reform doesn't move unless practitioners speak up, and that might mean submitting a comment, writing to your college, or even just sharing this conversation within your community. Third, stay collaborative, not competitive. Remember that we are stronger when we advocate together. Psychologists, psychotherapists, counselors, social workers, all of us together. We share a purpose, even if our titles differ. Because when we work together toward a system that truly prioritizes client care, everybody wins. Now, this episode might be a little heavier than what we usually explore here, but I think it's also one of the most important because if we don't talk about what's broken, then we can't build what's better. And the truth is, we can build something better. We have the expertise, we have the heart, and right now, we might just have the political momentum to make it happen. If you're a therapist listening to this, I hope this episode reminds you that your work matters and your voice matters too. If you want to keep building a practice that supports your life, your values, and your clients, you can find more resources and support at BuildYourPrivatePractice.ca. Whether you're just starting out, filling your caseload, or you're ready to scale, there's a place for you here. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for the work you do and the lives you touch. Keep showing up, keep holding space, and keep building a practice that works for you too. I'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for tuning in to the Build Your Private Practice podcast. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love it if you'd subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a fellow Canadian therapist who needs this. And remember, the work you do matters. Keep showing up, keep holding space, and keep building a practice that works for you. If you're looking for practical tools or support to grow your practice with more clarity and confidence, head to BuildYourPrivatePractice.ca. There's lots waiting for you there. I'll see you next time.